One of the things that is really interesting about this moment in food insecurity is a lot of people think that we have just had our greatest demand in food insecurity. And the reality is, right now, food insecurity is higher than it's been in a decade. Over the past year, we've seen it rise by 10%. We're likely going to see that trend continue. Between the rising cost in housing, the rising cost of food and everyday living, the rising cost of healthcare, and how many Americans have debt, it's becoming a really big challenge for folks to make ends meet and put healthy food on the table. SNAP is our nation's greatest tool in fighting hunger. For every one meal that a food bank provides, SNAP provides 9. So when a family receives their benefits, they're able to go to the grocery store and buy exactly what that family needs. Here at Harvesters, we work with folks who are facing food insecurity every single day. But often, a lot of times we're seeing that those folks not only need food assistance, but also need help navigating some of the challenges when it comes to applying for SNAP.
First of all, the fear, right? They don't know how to find the applications. They don't know how to fill out the application. They don't understand sometimes the questions. So just having somebody that can walk them through that, explain to them, and make it more easy for them to understand, I think that's a relief for them.
Accessing the SNAP program really is an extensive process. This whole process includes an actual application that someone has to fill out and sign and get submitted. There's a lot of additional documentation that's required in terms of income and rent costs and utility costs and medical costs. Other sorts of deduction documentation is required to really ensure income eligibility.
Think about someone who might not have internet at home or a working computer. They might be doing it entirely on their phone and a public Wi-Fi. If you recently experienced eviction, you might have lost all of your financial paperwork. If you're someone experiencing homelessness, you might not have all of your resources available to get your application together.
The final piece to the application process for SNAP is an interview. Every head of household that's applying to be part of the SNAP program has to be interviewed by someone from the Department of Social Services. And I think most recently, that really has been the bottleneck for a lot of folks. The way that this process is set up now, it's all through a call center. A lot of those happen on the phone. You have to call in and talk to someone from the department and go through an interview process to actually process your application. And if you do not do that interview within 30 days, your application is rejected and you have to start the whole process again. Many people try. They'll call into the call center. The wait times for those call centers range from 30 minutes on a good day, right, to 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, someone waiting on hold to actually get through to talk to someone. A lot of people don't have that time. So they've tried, but they don't get that interview done, and then their application's rejected. So even if they get through, after that 30 days, they have to go through the whole process again. Of all the reasons why an application could be rejected, 50% of those rejections are for failure to do an interview. And that's thousands of applications every month. February of 2025, it was 12,576 applications just being rejected because they didn't complete the interview.
It really not only adds time burden to those families who are already experiencing time poverty, but it also limits the amount of time that they have to work, makes challenges with childcare. If you're a senior citizen, you might not have the ability to get transportation to the meeting, let alone fill out the application.
So I had this lady one morning that when I called her and told her that I was calling to do the application for food stamps, so she was really excited and thankful because all she had to eat was oatmeal for that morning. When she heard that I could help her with finding some food pantries location, give her the address, but at the same time help her with applying for food stamps, she was really thankful and she really was excited to have somebody that helped her to find resources.
We really saw that as a significant problem and that all across the state, folks were not being able to access SNAP when they were eligible for that benefit. So Empower Missouri was party to a lawsuit that was filed against the Department of Social Services back in 2022. Legal Services also represented 3 clients who were not able to access SNAP because of X, Y, or Z. We joined to really focus on that this is more of a systemic problem, that we need to change the system. The federal judge ruled in our favor. The finality of it does still remain to be seen. but we're actively monitoring it and really are hopeful that some real changes to the way that the system runs will happen because of the lawsuit.
A federal program that provides food assistance to more than 40 million Americans has been cut. The Congressional Budget Office estimates that 2.4 million fewer people will now qualify for SNAP. This is under President Trump's tax and spending plan that passed in July.
The additional restrictions that are coming down the pipeline for SNAP are going to drastically impact things for the folks that we serve. We are going to face more of our neighbors being kicked off the program or no longer qualifying even for the first place.
The new federal law that passed poses tremendous challenges for the state. It is really shifting a whole lot of costs from the federal government to the state government. The next couple of years are going to take a lot of work.
One of the things that we can do is through an advocacy lens.
To really impress upon the policymakers that this is a really important program.
Harvesters and our partner agencies are the supplement to the supplement. SNAP is the first line of defense.
You can donate canned goods, but you also need to fund this program that can help hundreds of thousands more people than your church food pantry.
It is insurmountable to think about if SNAP ceased to exist. Harvesters and our partner agencies cannot make up that gap.
We don't know the future, but what we have control over is what we do as harvesters. How we help the neighbors, how we take care of the community, that's what we're going to focus on.